Hi Yogi, welcome to your practice. My name is Alan and this is Yin Yoga. So go ahead, welcome. This would be your space for this practice. Sit on your Sukhasana easy seated pose, crossing your legs, and just let your sit bones, your knees, your ankles to stay on your mat. Begin to flip your palms facing the ceiling and allow your shoulders, your elbows, the sides of your neck to relax. For your entire practice, we will find total ease in the poses as we create effort in finding those poses. You may gaze downwards or look at the tip of your nose as we begin to tune into your breath. Inhaling to your nose, exhaling to your nose. Inhale, exhale. We're gonna do this for a couple more times. And just allowing yourself to ground in the four corners of your mat. For any thoughts and worries that may linger in your mind, acknowledge them and choose not to react. Let them be for the time being. Now take one deep inhale and slowly exhale completely. Come back to center and we will move on with a squat. So go ahead, maybe sweep your feet to the side, and from here, a squat will mean your heels are on the ground And your toes are about in their 2 o'clock and their 10 o'clock, right? And you have your props, your blocks. If this is too much for the time being, one option is to place a block right under your hips. Depends on how deep your hips would be accessible at this point. If, for instance, my heels and hips are a little bit closer, so they are in their lowest height. If there is still hanging sensation, then maybe place them on their mid height and you're already sitting comfortably so that it would allow you to focus on opening your inner thighs, right? Or still, if this is too much, maybe you may raise it on the tallest height and then you may allow some more room to spread out your legs. So at this point, you'll be placing your hands on your lap and let this be your starting point. If for any instance that you cannot lift, you cannot pull your hip or heels down on the floor, then maybe you may use your props, your blocks, and stay on your blocks with your heels on top of them and then your toes or the balls of your feet to stay here. So at this point, there are several options for you to choose from, and you're welcome to do whatever at this point. Create those micro adjustments with your clothes, and when you're ready, you may place your hands comfortably where they will land first. So maybe your hands will land on the mat, maybe your hands are on your knees, maybe your hands will be on another block if you have several blocks that is available. So at this point, you may allow your chest to open forward as you keep on activating your thighs. So the thighs would include your butt cheeks, your hamstrings, the back of your thighs, your quads, the tops of your thighs, even your inner groin. So the groin area would allow you to really open at this point. And while I continue to guide you, we are trying to deepen the squat. And again, in Yin Yoga, we are staying in just a couple of poses, and yet you can really feel the deep connection of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Slowly, on your next inhale, begin to plant your palms on the mat. And when you're ready, we're gonna lift our hips off. And as you lift off, we're gonna try to straighten your legs, turning your toes to the long side of the mat, or maybe you're facing the short side. Whichever way, the toes are pointing to the same direction. When you're ready, begin to lay your head as it dangles. Grab the opposite sides of your elbows, and we'll stay here for a couple of minutes. Now, this might be a lot of effort in your at your end, so you are trying to relax your back by dangling your head down, and you're actively holding on to the opposite sides of your elbows, and you're trying to pull your body a little bit forward, trying to tip over and pressing on the balls of your feet. If it still feels a lot, then maybe you may place the blocks and gently place your hands on top of them to ease the tension and maybe allowing you to guide yourself a little bit more forward. And at this point, you can really feel your toes and the spread of your feet. Let gravity do its work and let your upper body just dangle for more minutes. You may microbend your knees, by the way, if there's already strain or tension coming from your hamstrings and your calf muscles. Slowly on your next inhale, let go of the bind, rolling your spine slowly and gently as you rise up. And rolling your spine, your shoulders, your neck all the way up. So stay here for your Tadasana, your mountain pose, and you might hear some micro adjustments with your joints, namely your ankles, your toes, your knees, your hips, even maybe your shoulders and your neck. Just allow yourself to stay tall and stay present while we're trying to settle down and ground yourself in this mountain pose, this Tadasana. And try to lose any tension from your kneecaps. Microbend those knees if you will. And if you feel more comfortable, you feel more confident, then grow taller with your feet hip width apart or feet together, whichever feels as your Tadasana. Now slowly come back to center And from here, we're gonna go to the tops of our mat. We'll first step your right foot all the way back until you can drop your right knee on the floor. Okay? And at this point, you're already on your low lunge. And you'll notice any load perhaps on your lower limbs. That would be your hips, your knees, your toes. Then go ahead, roll on a blanket or a towel, or place a soft pillow right under your knees to support you as we begin with your dragon. All right. So from here, we'll place first our left foot outside of our hands. So we're gonna plant your palms right in front, and then slowly you're gonna slide your right leg all the way to the back. You're gonna create those micro adjustments with your clothes and stay. You may begin to place blocks right in front of you as you will slowly begin to place your forearms on top of your blocks. And not everyone might have an access to a deepening of the hip or groin area. So maybe you may even stay on the mid-height of your blocks, placing your forearms gently on them. And at this point, your right hip flexor, your left inner groin is crying. And just stay here as you allow gravity to its work. And you might feel the tendency to lift your inner blade of your left foot, then do so. Again, be cautious when it comes to your poses, especially with your joints when in contact on the ground. Sometimes there's too much load. There might feel some aggravation. So you may place a towel or maybe a blanket right under your knee. Slowly inhale, look forward. Begin to walk your hands back as you push yourself up. Now we're gonna step our left foot back. Widen your stance as you pull your hips towards your heels. As you keep on stretching your arms, we're gonna stay here for a minute and then we will switch legs. Slowly inhale, look forward, begin to push yourself up to a tabletop. And we'll now step our right foot forward outside of your right hand. And again, you may adjust your clothing, and you may assist with your right hand to um, have a more accessible rather, area for your hips, for your right leg. Again, notice that I have my props, so choose whether it be on their lowest height, their mid height, or their tallest. And again, notice if your left knee is slightly a little bit um, irritated on the mat, then go ahead, roll a blanket or a towel. When you're ready, we'll begin to walk forward until you can drop your forearms on the ground or on your blocks. At this point, again, you may lift the inner blade of your right foot, and we keep on staying here for a couple of minutes. Let your body transcend, meaning if there are pins and needles, then find that tipping point. Again, we always consider that word, the tipping point, wherein you can still manage or still feel within your tolerance. If it is too much, then maybe you may step back a notch, or maybe you would want to go further. And this is, again, depends on you. Slowly inhale, walk your hands back to its original position. We're gonna step our right foot back, pulling our knees as wide as your mat, big toes together. Inhale, you're gonna pull your hips back to your heels as you stretch your arms. Align your head with your elbows or your arms. We're gonna stay here for an active child's pose. And you'll notice that in yin, you really feel the stira and sukha of an asana. Each pose, each surrender, every minute, every moment. On your next inhale, you're gonna push yourself up. Set your blocks aside. We're gonna roll to one side already. And we're gonna lie down first. So the last pose will be the cat pulling tail pose. We're gonna place the top leg, our right leg in this instance, right on top or right in front. And then our left foot would pull all the way back. This would be our tail. And from here, extending your left arm all the way up so that you may rest your head on your arm. Maybe you may grab a block or a pillow to assist if you needed, more lift with your head. And then slowly, with your right hand, you're gonna grab your left foot, the top of your left foot, and just stay. Now, some of you might feel there's tension coming from the front of your right shoulder. So go ahead, roll your right shoulder behind to create more opening, adjusting your shoulder blade from behind. And this would allow you to feel that stretch as you open your chest. We'll stay here for another minute. Again, if you need pillow, then go ahead. Allow yourself to stay. And you'll notice that for every minute that would pass, this allows the body to open the sides of your body that may be too tight at first. And then as time goes by, this allows your body to create more room for you. Slowly letting go of your left foot with your right hand, begin to roll back on your belly, on your tummy. We're gonna roll onto the other side. And this time with your left leg on top of your right knee. Your left leg would be in front and bent, and then your right foot, we're gonna reach it with our left hand. We're gonna grab the top of your right foot. And we're gonna stay here for another minute. Again, if there's some tension on the top of your left shoulder this time, you're gonna roll your left shoulder behind, creating more room and allowing you to expand, concentrate, and focus on the lower parts of your body. Slowly on your next inhale, we're gonna release your right foot with your left hand. And finally, we're gonna roll onto our backs. And stay here for your Shavasana. And create those micro adjustments with your clothes. And have your hands a little bit far from your body. When you're ready, you may even close your eyes. Allow your body to finally surrender. I'm gonna stay here for a couple of breaths, for a couple of minutes. And you'll notice how your hips, your legs, your arms, your back would surrender on the mat. Slowly come back to center. Begin to blink your eyes open. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. Extending your arms all the way up. Pull your feet together and stretch. And exhale. Woo-hoo. Roll onto your left arm and just stay here for a while. Slowly with your right hand, push yourself up. Sitting back to your Sukhasana, easy seated pose. And flipping your hands facing the ceiling, facing the sky. We'll return to your breath. We'll always return to your breath. And try to notice how your body has learned to expand, how your body has released some tension from the joints, from the muscles. Take one big inhale. Open your mouth to side out. Placing your hands together to your heart center. Thank you so much for letting me lead you in today's practice. I hope that you enjoyed and see you again, Yogi, in your next practice.